Good morning, dear children. Welcome you all in my class once again. And I agree with you that this is very tough time to bear because of the coronavirus. But dear students, always remember, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? And let's hope for the spring to come very soon. Till then, let's pass our time positively and let us understand the poem written by Stephen Spander, an elementary school classroom in a slum. So as far as the introduction is concerned, poet Stephen Spander has been very prominent in the modern age, and he was very sensitive for the social and political problems which were well reflected in his poems. And this poem is a contrast in his personalities because he was well known for the romantic poet earlier, but when the world was torn after the effects of the two world wars, he could not help reflecting it in his poem. Because, dear students, that was the age of social instability and economic bankruptcy. So he highlights the harsh realities of the life as experienced by the slum children. So here comes the poem with its explanation, and I have tried to highlight the poetic devices in blue color for a better understanding of you. Okay. They see the first line. Far from the gusty waves, these children faces. Dear children, in this line, the poet has created an antithesis device. What does that mean? When two opposite things are put together. See, children faces and gusty waves, both are opposite to each other, and that is why gusty means powerful. And children faces are very weak, very pale, and this is made clear in the second line. Like rootless weeds, these students are like. Again, second device in the phrase, like rootless weeds. Dear children, rootless weeds are those unwanted plants which we root out of our garden. Similarly, these children are considered to be burden on the society. That is why. Then hair torn around their pallor. Pallor means pale face. Their pale face is all covered with the hair. And then the poet explains the scene of the class. One by one, 3 children are being talked about who are similar. One is a tall girl who is sitting with her weight down head. That means bent down head because she is physically malnourished. Then a second boy who is paper seeming. That means very thin. Here the poet has used metaphor. With rat's eyes. Again metaphor because boys' eyes are searching to find anything, this or that. Then next line, the stunted, unlucky hair of the twisted bone. Third child is the stunted, unlucky hair. Stunted, whose growth is hindered. And he is the unlucky hair. Students, when you inherit something from your parents, that is always a part of property and good health. But this child is unlucky because he has inherited the disease of the twisted bones. And this is recited by him. How he is reciting? Because when he stands to recite his lesson in the class, his body is visible and the body is deformed. That is conveyed by the phrase gnarled disease. Why does he displays that deformed body? Because he has inherited from his father. Because they are ill-fed. These children and their parents all are ill-fed. Okay, so in that sense, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson. Here the poet conveys the sense that he stood to recite his lesson, but his body is shown, which is deformed. At the back of the dim class, one unnoticed, sweet and young. Fourth child who is sitting at the back of the class and who is different from all these three children. Because he is very sweet, he is young, and he is very excited to do something else. How? We come to know from the line, his eyes live in a dream of squirrels' game in a tree room. He is distracted from the lesson. He wants to entertain himself by following the squirrel in its tree room. Tree room is a hollow place made in the stem of the tree. Now you see, children, squirrel's game and tree room, these are the symbols, imagery created by the poet to make you understand the poem in a better way. Okay, so imagery is used here, or we can say symbols are used here. Other than this means other than this classroom. Okay, here I jotted down the meanings of the difficult words, which I have already told you while explaining the poem. You can have a look over there. Then these are the literary devices which have also been told by me. Each and every device I have already explained, and wherever many times you will see symbols, and symbols will consist of the metaphor. Okay, then let's come to the second stanza. On sour cream walls. Sour here means unpleasant, distempered, discolored. Cream refers to the off-white, colorlessness of the walls. Why? Because they are not maintained properly because of the lack of money. Whatever maintenance is done, that is done out of the money received in donations. And donations are not enough. Then what are drawn or hung on the walls of the school? The things, the pictures which can encourage the students to go forward in their lives by studying. Now you see, Shakespeare's head is a literary figure, well-known figure who inspires us to do something like him. Shakespeare is a well-known author. Cloudless dawn, open clear skies, the symbol of brightness. Then civilized dome, riding all the cities. These are all painted on the walls. Civilized dome. Civilized here means symbol of progress. A dome is painted on the walls, which is the symbol of the progress. Build, flowery, Tyrolese valley. So these are the symbol of civilization, or we can say progress. Then open-handed map to acquaint the students about the different places in this world. Awarding the world its world. Its world referred to the world shown in the map, and the first world is used for the slum class. Second world is used for the places shown in the map. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, is their world. See what a contrast is created by the poet here. All the words which encourage us to gain knowledge, that is of no use for these children. Why? Because they are so poor. They are so malnourished. How will they think of getting encouraged to visit or to know about these places shown in the map? This world, confined to their classroom, is their world, because their future is painted with a fog. This symbolizes darkness. Future painted with a fog symbolizes darkness. A narrow street sailed with a lead sky also symbolizes darkness, their bleak future, because Their life is far from rivers, caves, and stars of the world. Their lives are not meant for the brightness, for the progress, which is symbolized by rivers, caves, stars of the world. Here the poet gives a very dismal picture of the lives of the slum dwellers, and the painting, the scenery, the imagery drawn on the walls of the schools doesn't serve any purpose for the children, because they are hungry, they are thinking to fill their stomachs. How can they think of getting educated? Then in the third stanza, the poet gives a picture of their homes, the place where they pass their time, by restarting with the pictures drawn on the walls. Shakespeare is wicked. This is contrary, we can say this is irony, because Shakespeare, who is supposed to inspire the children to study, he is being cruel. How? Because he is unable to inspire them to study, to get educated. Map is not serving any purpose. Map is not increasing their knowledge. Ships and sun. So many beautiful, love symbolizes beautiful things. So many beautiful things are shown in the map, but on the contrary, they are tempted to steal. They are instigated. They are encouraged to do something bad, and that is steal. They are compelled to steal because they have to survive. For lives means they have to survive. That slyly turn in their cramped holes. The lives, they secretly, after stealing, they secretly enter. Turn in means enter in their cramped holes, in their narrow homes. This is again a metaphor used. Cramped holes. They are in the name of their homes, only one room is there, and that too is not ventilated, with low roof, as if they would be imprisoned for the lifetime there. Then from fog to endless night, they are enclosed in their rooms from fog to endless night. And on their slag heap, the children were on their slag heaps. Again, a metaphor is used here. Slag heap, the garbage, the heaps of garbage where they pass their time, and these children are again malnourished. This is symbolized by the line, "Where skin peep through by bones." That means they're so malnourished, they're so weak, that their bones can be seen. This is a metaphor used again by the poet. Spectacles of steel they wear, and what else they wear? They wear the spectacles of steel with mended glass. Again, mended glass is the metaphor, because they're so poor. Mended, just like through a mended glass, nothing is visible, and that mended glass is made out of the pieces of the bottle. And can one see clear out of those combined pieces of the glasses? Never. A blurred view will come out. Similarly, their future is blurred. In this line, like bottle bits on stone, the poet has used simile. And that is why they pass all of their time on foggy slum. Again, their bleak future, because their lives are never going to be changed. There can never come brightness, hope, prosperity in their lives unless the stains, the blot on their map with slums is deleted. And this blot, this stain on their maps here symbolizes their world of slum, which is as big as doom, means which is never going to end. And poet wants the people in the next stanza. Here are the again glossary part, which I have already told you, And then poetic device. Shakespeare is wicked, the map is a bad example. This is paradox also, because Shakespeare and maps are supposed to increase knowledge, but they fail to serve that purpose because they are hungry. Then some images and symbols which are used, I have told you. Okay, and wherever imagery and symbol will be there, a metaphor can be found out there. Okay, then I've told you, where skin peep through by bones, metaphor, cramped hole, metaphors, foggy slim, metaphor, and two devices in the form of similes, like bottle bits on stone, slums as big as room. Now comes the fourth stanza, which is very important because here the poet makes a strong appeal to all those who are influential people. And who are influential people? Governor, inspectors, visitors. Means he invokes them by calling to think for these poor children so that something can be done. And he wants this map to be erased from their lives. Which map? The map of the slum life. Because that shuts their lives like catacombs. Catacombs, you know, children, is a place in Rome which is well famous because there the dead bodies are buried. And you know where the dead bodies are buried, that is horrible, extremely horrible place with no ventilation. And like those catacombs, these people are imprisoned and they can't breathe, they will die. So the poet invokes the conscience of these people by speaking, break, oh break, open till they break the dawn. Let us break these catacombs before something bad happens, and show these children the green fields, which is a symbol of prosperity, and make their world run azure on gold sands. Let us make them walk on clearness. Azure, although it means blue color, but here it will mean clarity on gold sand, which is symbol of brightness. So poet wants to make an appeal, let us bring brightness in their lives. And in the next line, poet wants to emphasize that let us encourage them to study by speaking the line, let their tongues run naked into the books. Means just like a hungry dog applies its tongue onto the utensils for the leftover food. Similarly, let us encourage these children to be hungry to read the books. And white and green leaves symbolize the pages of the books, because only then these children will create history, because history is theirs whose language is the sun which is the symbol of brightness. So here, dear children, here poet has created poetic device, invocation, because he is making a strong appeal. Then here simile, their homes are compared to catacombs, and here metaphor, green fields. Again, run azure on gold sand, metaphor. We can say symbols and imagery is also. Again, metaphor and imagery. Again, metaphor and imagery. Metaphor and imagery. So, these are the glossary. This is the glossary part, and then poetic device. I have all explained to you. Hope I was able to make the poem clear to you, and hope you will understand, and we'll try to meet in our next class. Till then, bye.